America, there's an issue here. There's a big disease going on in this country. And it might not be the one that you think I'm talking about. It's the issue of fake news going on in this country. It's a problem. Okay? You got people like the print journalists over there, downstairs at room 108 in the Paul Miller Journalism Building. They are causing a storm down there, and that's why I am here as both the editor-in-chief of that publication and the star of the show to dispel some of those fake news rumors and to really digest what the O'Colly is and who these journalists are. So, with that being said, today I welcome in our good friend, Cheyenne, to O'Colly Unreported. Cheyenne Mitchell-Brown. She's a journalist. She's fantastic. She is our entertainment/lifestyle editor here at the O'Colly. Cheyenne, I have one question for you, and just one question. Are you single?
No, I'm not. I'm not single at all. Been married for 7 months.
So Cheyenne, you're 19 years old and you are married. I need the audience to know how, why, and what transpired to make this happen.
Well, you see, I've been married to Cade Brown. He's 20, and we grew up together. We grew up in the same church. Our families were super close. They became best friends. And I've known him since I was 9, and then slowly it just turned into a relationship. I had a huge crush on him. And he just saw me as a sister, so I was like in the friend zone for a long time. He said that while we were dating. He's like, yeah, you're just a sister to me. I was like, you don't say that while we're in a relationship. But that we dated for 3 years, and then our 3-year anniversary, that was our wedding day. So
that's incredible. So I need you to give the folks out there, because I mean there's a lot of kids out there that are struggling with escaping the friend zone, because I feel like you did it while you were in a relationship with someone, and that's ridiculous. What is your main point of advice for people to get out of that friend zone?
I mean, I don't really know how I did it personally. I was told by everyone that he did not like me, and I was like, okay, I was fine with that. But I had this huge crush that I just couldn't let go of. And so like one night, 16 years old, it was like 8 p.m. And I just texted him and I was like, all right, I just want to know if I'm wasting my time. Do you like me or not? And my hope was that he was going to say no. I wanted to just cry it off, eat some mint chocolate chip ice cream, and then it just be over. But instead he's like, yeah, I kind of like you too. And I wasn't expecting that. And it just it was really weird. I was like, so what do you want to do now? He's like, well, I don't really know. You want to go on a date a month from now? And that happened in June, and he was like, July 7th, you want to go see this movie with me? And I was like, hear me out. Let's go on a picnic before then and just like test this out. But I don't really know how I did it. He just said that he slowly started seeing me as like more than a sister, and so I don't know.
Pinning down a date a month in advance, that's harder to do. I mean, this guy's harder to reach than the president of the United States.
Yeah.
I mean, this is ridiculous.
Well, you see, I was his first girlfriend ever, and he was homeschooled. And
okay.
Homeschoolers are kind of odd.
Hey. I know the twins, Ben and Sam Hutchins. They're great kids. They're homeschoolers, and they are advocates for that, for homeschoolers being social units out there, and they do it. They transcend that, notion that homeschoolers are odd. And Maddie Ferris is a fellow editor of ours, is also another homeschooler, but they are built different a little bit. But you were able to make this happen.
I really had to lead the relationship a lot. But eventually got to the point, I would say like 2 years in, where he was finally comfortable and we got to actually be boyfriend and girlfriend. But there was a lot of teaching there and stuff, so I kind of got to make him into the guy I wanted. And then,
Cheyenne, the vibe that I'm getting from your life is that your life is a series of, you're just kind of going with the flow, and then things spiral out of control, and then boom, you're there, right? You're finally in that situation, which is exactly what happened when you became the lifestyle editor for our publication. Cheyenne told me initially, America, I hope you're listening, that she didn't want to be an editor. Months go on, an opportunity opens up, Cheyenne becomes our lifestyle editor, and we love her ever since. Cheyenne, tell me about your position, and what do you like about it? What do you hate about it?
So what I like about it is I really enjoy mentoring the writers, because I kind of just walked in, wanted to be this writer, wanted to be this journalist, freshman in college, had this dream, and I just kind of went for it, and I started writing like crazy, and I eventually just climbed up the ladder. But the thing is it wasn't an easy road and stuff, so it's kind of interesting seeing those writers and seeing them go through the same thing I went through, but I just kind of want to mentor them and be like, okay, it doesn't have to be that hard for you and stuff. So that's my favorite part about it. My least favorite part about it is having to come up with story ideas. I hate that so much. I'm the worst at it. There seems to be so much stuff happening on campus, and I just can't catch it all. And I really beat myself up whenever I miss a certain like story idea. I'm like, why couldn't I just be omniscient? But yeah, that's probably the like least favorite thing of the job.
I understand. Believe me, I completely understand. And it's a good thing that you have. I would address Stillwater as being our audience, but America's our audience. Okay, this is the country that's listening to us, Cheyenne. This conversation right now, this conversation that you and I would just have on a normal day. I need you to tell them some more of the struggles that journalists have to face on a day-to-day basis, right? What has been something that you're just like, man, I wish people knew that all the hard work that goes into this, these fake news people over here, I wish people knew the struggle that goes into building this each week.
Yeah, it's a lot of hard work. I definitely spend at least a couple hours working on the paper every day, just trying to be organized, trying to be on top of things. I think that the hardest thing about this is you work so hard, you put blood, sweat, and tears into this, and then you kind of share it to people, and even share it to my own family, and they're like, fake news, just discredit it, and they kind of just like, I'm like, hey, look at this drawing that I made, and they just like crumple it up, throw it in trash, and I'm spent a lot of work on that. So I would say that's the hardest thing, because it's very discouraging, and we put a lot of hard work. And I constantly am working with writers, constantly having things kind of fall apart and having to bring it back together. And then, yeah, I guess the biggest, it's just a slap in the face whenever people are like, that's not worth it. And so, yeah. I mean, I would say that's my struggle. That's what I see, at least. That's
what you see. That's what I see, too.
Yeah.
It's all the hard work that goes into it. And no, some people don't even read past the headline. They might see Burning Desire and think, oh, my goodness, what's happening to...
Sounds like a love story.
Yeah, it sounds like a love story, right? Anne and Burns, the love story. We'll talk to Burns Hargis later, and we'll find out his true love story. But, Cheyenne, I don't care about this right now. I care about you, Cheyenne, and I want to know, outside of your passion for journalism, which is great... Yesterday, you wore a shirt that had cats on it.
I did.
How much do you like cats, and describe your relationship with cats?
Oh my gosh. I love cats so much.
I love them too.
I love them so much. I've had 3 cats in my lifetime, and my cat right now, her name is Fish. We rescued her out of a storm drain as a kitten, and what we did is we had a little basket, we put some cat treats in it, and we like took a rope and we put it in the storm drain, she hopped right in, and so we fished her out, and that's where her name came from. But yeah, she has to live with my parents because Cade is severely allergic to cats. And that actually was part of a reason I thought about breaking up with him like early in a relationship. Because I love cats so much. But I decided that I loved him more. It was really hard. I definitely go through phases where I like tear up a bit because I miss my cat. But yeah, I'll wear cat t-shirts all the time. But striped t-shirts are the best.
Striped t-shirts are great, right? I'm not a big, it maybe not looks great on me, stripes kind of guy. But you know what? Striped t-shirts are fine. The best time to wear a striped sweater.
Yeah.
Is all the time. It's all the time.
Yeah, and I actually match it with my scrunchie.
Oh, that's amazing. Holy cow, look at that. The only thing I match with today is Professor Max Andrews down in the Paul Miller Journalism Building, first floor.
You did.
Great guy. Now, I would be devastated if somebody that I was with was allergic to cats, but you make up for it. You compensate for it by having some of the cat paraphernalia, some of the cat t-shirts. What do you say to people that are anti-cats? Because I have my theory. I think that they're just afraid of rejection.
I mean, I don't really have a thing to say. I'm just like, you're wrong.
You're just doing it wrong.
Yeah, I see why people don't like cats. I think cats are a lot more chill than dogs. And they have too much energy for me, and they kind of stress me out. Dogs stress me out. but cats don't.
Dogs come with a warning label, okay? Every single time you're going into somebody's house, right? This happened to me a million times growing up. The dog will freaking jump all over you, and they'll say, "Oh, he's just playing. He won't bite. He bit me 3 times." Okay, he bit me 3 times. Cheyenne, we're gonna have a quick change of topic here. Okay, just very quick, no smooth transitions at all on here. You can ask me questions now.
Okay.
Now Cheyenne becomes the interviewer.
I'm ready.
The interviewee becomes the interviewer.
All right. Why do people hate you so much on social media?
You know, it's a loaded question, okay? It's an interesting question, and it's one I'm glad you asked. I think it's because of the problem that I addressed in my opening monologue, fake news. People think I'm fake news. People think I've been called a communist, I believe at least 5 times.
A communist?
Yes, communism. Yeah, that's been addressed to me before. Just so many interesting messages that I've gotten, so many interesting comments, emails. My father's gotten emails on behalf of me, or rather, I should say, just other people that are close to me as well have gotten messages saying, "Hey, like, this guy's fake news. Like, why are you associating with this guy?" I'm paraphrasing. Obviously, it's a little bit more vulgar than that.
Yeah.
But I bask in it. I love it because that's the reactionary, I guess, aspect of this field, is that I know I'm doing it right. I know I'm at the end of the day I can go to sleep at night knowing that I'm reporting accurately. But some people don't understand that, and it's kind of funny to see how much of an impact you can have just with like a student newspaper, right? There's a great quote from Mike Wazowski. You ever see Monsters University?
A long time ago.
Not Monsters Incorporated, Monsters University, the prequel.
Yeah.
Okay. His fraternity, Uzma Kappa, okay? They're going through and they got embarrassed in front of the whole school. And the student newspaper has a moment where they like shame them, right? On the right on the front page.
Yeah.
And Mike Wazowski, he collects all them and he's like, "Don't worry. Nobody reads the school paper." Okay? So that's not the truth here, because people actually do, apparently. At least they read the headlines. I mean, Burning Desire, like you said, a love story between...
2 words.
It is 2 words. That's right. Oh, man. Oh, man. Alrighty, Cheyenne. Thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate it a ton. We cannot believe that you got to be our first guest on here. You're an entertaining time. You're a great time. But get ready, everybody, because right here live on O'Colly Unreported, we are fixing to have President Burns Hargis join the program. We will see you then.
Hi, OSU. I'm Ryan Novozinsky. Novozinsky. Why is it spelled that way? Because I'm from New Jersey. I'm your editor-in-chief of The O'Colly, and I've got some news for you. Are you tired of living in the 1970s? Are you tired of getting paper cuts every time you read our printed product? Are you tired of the batteries in your Walkman running out? Are you tired of the guilt and shame of destroying forests whenever you read our paper? Well, boy, do I got some news for you. Our top scientists have developed a new way to bring our product directly to you. Is it on VHS? No. Is it on DVD? Get out of town. We're bringing it right to your mobile device. Are you cool enough to be a part of this electronic generation? It's called the E-Colly. Sign up for the E-Colly today. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to O'Colly Unreported. I'm Ryan Novozinsky, and today, I know we just were joined by Cheyenne Mitchell-Brown, the great Cheyenne, but we have an even better guest, arguably an even better guest, President Burns Hargis, the president of Oklahoma State University. President Hargis, I mean, let's just start it like this. Do you want your statue to be next to Bennett or to be next to Boone's?
Well, first of all, I bet I'm not as good a guest as Cheyenne, but I doubt that she'll ever see me in bronze.
That's
so
right.
It really doesn't matter. Yeah, but I have the highest respect for what Henry Bennett did. He clearly was the most successful president we've ever had. But I think a lot of the success we've had during my tenure had a lot to do with Boone. I think he, in addition to all the money he gave us, he inspired us. And I think we took that inspiration and really ran with it.
President Hargis, what to you makes a successful OSU president, right? And I guess this ties into your advice for the next OSU president, whoever that may be.
Well, in any enterprise, including higher education and this university, it all comes down to good people that have the passion and have the desire and the wisdom to accomplish the task. And so that's really ultimately the biggest job of a president, is to pick really good people and let them do their job. I think it's also helpful in this job that you not be afraid to raise money. We have ever declining support from the state, although I think we might have a flat budget this year. And so we have to raise private funds. And the really big donors are going to want the president to work with, and because they want to be sure that what their vision is going to happen.
You know, and that's right. Yeah, because it's all about the money. And I'm sure so many professors here will preach that, you know, money, 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 you need money. Now, let me ask you this.
Let me tell you, Ryan, tell you what Boone used to say. He said when he was a kid, he'd ask his dad whether he could do something. And his dad said, no, there's 3 reasons we can't do that. And he said, okay, what are they? He said, the first one is we don't have the money. And he said, okay, what are the other 2? And his dad said, they don't matter.
I love the classic Booneisms, President Hargis. Those are fantastic. They're always a good time. And, you know, with the, I guess, money that entails this presidential position, it also entails a lot of perks, right? What has been the best perk, do you think, of being the OSU president? Just from a completely tie off kind of thing, like just completely think of it from a I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'd call it a perk, because a perk kind of feels like it's a one-way deal. But I'll tell you what I enjoy the most, and what I've enjoyed. One is just being around the students, and I taught the first year I was here, and realized I really didn't have time to do that and do everything else. But I'm so glad I did, because it made me appreciate what the faculty do, because I come to this job from the business world and not academics. But meeting all the great alums that we've developed, that have graduated from here all over the world. And then, as you and I were talking the other day, the chance to work with universities around the world and go and visit them, and they visit us, and that's been a real joy.
Yeah, that must be one of the marquee perks of it, right? And just seeing all these people and coming in contact with all these people. And it's something you haven't been able to do much this year, obviously. Has that been a struggle for you, not being able to see these students as much?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the energy level has just gone down dramatically. Students don't realize it because you're living it. But for those of us who have, shall we say, grayed out, the energy that's on a college campus is just palpable. I mean, you literally can almost cut it with a knife. Mm. And that's been the hardest part of this. And moreover, I haven't been inside eating at a restaurant except one time since March of last year. And I have not been I've been in the air one time during that entire period. And normally I would be in the air 2 or 3 times a week. So it's really been I'm going to be really glad when this is over, and I'm so glad a new president didn't have to enter in this kind of environment. So hopefully when I leave July 1st, we'll all be vaccinated and we'll be on our way.
I hope so. I wish I could do it today. That'd be fantastic. Now, going into sort of a smoother transition into your post-retirement life, outside of some of the duties that you're going to be taking on, right? The ethics committee, civic life in Oklahoma City, and helping the new president. What hobbies are in store for you? Because there are rumors, President Hargis, there are rumors that you are a big bird watcher. These rumors might have been started by me, but they're rumors.
I like bird watching if I'm with somebody that knows what we're doing. I don't know much about it, but I do enjoy it when I go with real bird watchers. I'm a frustrated golfer. I was a pretty decent golfer when we came up here, and it's just kind of really deteriorated since then. And I'm also just kind of an okay jazz piano player. I used to be an okay, a little better than okay, even I brag on myself, a rock and roll piano player. But I ended up I was taking jazz lessons when I got this job. So I had to discontinue that but I'll go back to that.
Sweet. We'd love to see your album drop whenever, President Hargis. That'd be fantastic. What happens to Ann's? What happens to Ann's golf cart? Does she get to keep it?
No, we're going to give this to the next president.
Oh, man. How is Ann going to get around like she normally does?
I know. It's going to be really hard. Maybe the new president will let us borrow it every now and then.
That'd be awesome.
We just put a new battery in Clementine, so she's ready to go.
Perfect. How are the dogs? How are the dogs doing?
Scruff, just one. There's Scruff, the wonder dog, and
right.
He's doing great. We got Scruff. Scruff kind of was the inspiration for the pet therapy program. Mm-hmm. And when we got students that found Scruff just ravaging around, and he'd been shot in the leg. And the girls took him to the vet school, and the vet school said, well, we can fix it, but he may not use it, and it's going to be very expensive. And so they put Scruff's picture on Facebook. It told the story that he'd been shot and raised $6,000. And so they got the leg fixed, and he wouldn't use the leg. And finally, they were just going to take the leg off, and a young vet had come back and studied from studying acupuncture in China. And she did acupuncture on Scruff, and he's run like a rocket ever since.
Wow. That is incredible. An incredible story, for an incredible dog. From what I hear, Scruff has some pretty high energy. And it's interesting too, because your prominence as OSU's president, I don't think at all within the next couple of years that this impact is going to go away. I think it's going to be here everlasting. And it was here, obviously, while you were here as well. Can you tell me the story, President Hargis, of the time that you had to, I guess, identify yourself at the gym at the Colvin whenever?
Oh, yeah. That was probably. I've been here a few months, and I went over to check in at the Colvin, and my card wouldn't work. And so I told a girl at the desk there, look, I'll just go in and work out, and then when I get to the office, I'll get it straightened out. She said, I really can't let you in. And I said, okay. So I turned around and went home, went in the house, and Nan said, well, I thought you were going to work out. And she wouldn't let me in. Well, didn't you tell her? No, I didn't tell her who I was. I wasn't going to say, you know who I am? And so I got to the office, and I asked the folks here, look, don't get this girl in trouble. She's just doing her job. But really, we got to fix this with the cards and all that stuff. And somebody talked, because the next time I went into the Colvin, there right by the cash register were two big portraits of Ann and me. Almost like, don't take a check from these people.
Yeah. Man, President Hargis was on the, I guess, blacklist there or the orange list, if you want to call it, at the Colvin. Wow. Yeah. That is interesting. So you're someone who doesn't like to use the do you know who I am card?
Oh, nobody likes to hear that. Nobody does. It is, and she didn't know who I was. Yeah. And so it's I was Henry Bellman was an OSU graduate, and U.S. Senator and Governor of Oklahoma, and I was introducing Henry in Enid, something in Enid, and I was coming up from Oklahoma City, and I got stopped for speeding. And I said, officer, I'm really sorry, but I'm going to introduce the governor in Enid. And he said, yeah, I'm going to have lunch with the president. So give me your registration. So that another funny OSU story. I bought one. I think it was the first year the Prius came out, So it was my environmental statement. And I was driving, also coincidentally, Dean, and there at Covington, which is just a little southeast of Enid, I got stopped. And so the officer came, got involved, and then he went back to the car. I don't know what they do in the car back there. They seem like they stay back there a long time. Not that I've been picked up that often. And finally, he comes back, and I said, "Officer, can I ask you a question?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "Am I the first Prius you've stopped for speeding?" And he said, "Matter of fact, you are." And I said, "Well, I was just curious." He said, "Okay, well, here's a warning. You need to slow down." And I said, "Yes, sir. Well, thank you very much." He said, "Go Pokes."
There you go. President Hargis, I'm going to advise you against something. I know you have a lot of people that like to advise you on things. I advise you to never drive to Enid again, because you always get into trouble when you do it.
Good point. Good point.
I'm full of them.
Yeah.
No, but President Hargis, one of the final questions I have for you is one that's very crucial, one that's very near and dear to a lot of people's hearts, especially it's something that they're missing during this pandemic. Although some of them also are continuing to do this. Is when you're an OU, you went to OU Law, right? You went to both OSU and OU. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen both towns. You've seen Norman. You've seen Stillwater. Be 100% honest with me. I don't want any coach speak here. Which town is a better party town, Norman or Stillwater?
Norman has become part of Oklahoma City, really. I mean, it's all just Oklahoma City. You can't, there's no bare land, between the two communities. Whereas our town, there's nothing down there like walk around, for example, when we normally have walk around. There's nothing like calf fry. There's none of those kinds of things. So I'll go with Stillwater. I like Norman. My daughter and son-in-law have a store in Norman. And as you say, I went to law school there. Not growing up in Oklahoma, I really never developed the animosity that some people seem to have on both sides. But I always root for OSU.
Of course, and I'm sure you will continue to do so well into your retirement, President Hargis. Thank you so much for joining us here on the program today on O'Colly Unreported. Is there any final messages you have to any OSU students out there?
Just keep your guard up. Wash your hands. Keep your distance. Wear a mask. This thing isn't over, and quickest way we're going to get it over is for everybody to take those precautions.
That's right.
And of course, go Poke.
There you go. Of course. President Hargis, thank you so much for joining us today once again. We will talk to you soon.
Okay, Ryan. Bye-bye.
And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in to O'Colly Unreported. You can listen to all of our O'Colly coverage on Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, Apple TV, and all your other favorite streaming platforms for O'Colly Unreported. I'm Ryan Nowozinski. Have a great day.
OMG.